In this section, you will learn about the origins and motivations of Bitcoin and the key distinction between cryptocurrencies and normal currencies. We will clear up some common misconception about the Bitcoin and blockchain and also explain briefly Bitcoin's origins in the cypherpunk movement. We will then draw a comparison between Bitcoin and banks and analyze each of the features and services they provide. And this all sets the stage for the next section, in which we will build Bitcoin from the ground up, incorporating each of these features and services, and we will see how they fit together. Most people struggle to answer the question, what is Bitcoin? Because there are so many different ways to respond. First, Bitcoin is considered the first and the most widely used cryptocurrency. A cryptocurrency is a completely digital, decentralized currency that is built using principle of computer science, cryptography, and economics. The term Bitcoin refers to the protocol governing this currency. Second, Bitcoin lowercase refers to the actual units of currency. A Bitcoin user will say that they have a certain amount of Bitcoins, similar to how we say we have a certain amount of dollars when referring to the US dollar. Third, Bitcoin is the inspiration for the blockchain, which is the underlying data structure of this cryptocurrency. A data structure is a virtual format for organizing, retrieving, and storing information. The Bitcoin blockchain in particular stores a permanent history of all transactions to the ever occur in the history of Bitcoin. It is an append-only ledger, meaning that any information added to the ledger cannot be deleted. But most importantly, Bitcoin is a cultural revolution. Rooted in ideals from cypherpunks and libertarians, Bitcoin represents a shift towards privacy and decentralization. This cryptocurrency is not backed by any central organization, government, or company. Instead, Bitcoin is built by the users for the users. As we said, Bitcoin was inspired by the cypherpunk movement of the late 80s. Cypherpunks advocates for the protection of privacy using cryptography. They don't trust governments, corporations, or large organizations to respect privacy. These points of centralization accumulate a great deal of power over society by collecting unimaginable amounts of information from millions of users. And the cypherpunks were some of the first to be concerned about central entities stripping away the freedom of the general public. One massive point of centralization in modern day society is the financial system, where banks govern the economies of entire countries. Several different companies and researchers attempted to make a decentralized or anonymous currency, but all of them failed. Bitcoin was the first technology to succeed as cryptocurrency. The Bitcoin white paper or research paper was published in October 2008 by Satoshi Nakamoto. The white paper was a 9-page concise proposal for the structure and functioning of a peer-to-peer electronic currency. Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym or a false identity of an individual or a group of individuals. No one knows their real identity. However, what's important is that this white paper envisioned a currency where users do not rely on financial intermediaries or trust anyone in order to make transactions with each other. In Bitcoin, users do not need to use their real-world identities. Instead, they are represented by addresses, strings of random letters, and numbers.
Bitcoins takes control out of the hands of third parties and give users the freedom to transact with while protecting their privacy. So, how does Bitcoin do it? On a high level, the Bitcoin network validates transactions and stores the entire transaction history. The Bitcoin network is a group of users communicating with each other as a part of the Bitcoin protocol. This network serves as the substitute for the central bank and must have certain properties to function correctly. Bitcoin is trying to create an open, accessible cryptocurrency not just to censorship or centralization. But what are the problems? Keep in mind the problems of trying to create an open, accessible cryptocurrency not subject to censorship or centralization. There are no central parties to ask for information about user accounts, and there are no central parties to kick out or censor malicious users. Decentralized networks generally suffer from these problems, leading to inconsistencies between parties and malicious messages infecting the network. The most popular attack is known as the double spending attack, an attack where some value is used for more than its worth. In real life, it's easy to prevent double spending since dollar bills cannot be copied and pasted. However, in digital currencies, there needs to be assurance that the virtual tokens have not been promised to more than one person. Bitcoin is a technology is trying to solve a very specific problem in the realm of distributed system where any node or computer within the network can come and leave as it pleases and behaves however it likes. There are enormous possibilities for failures given the complete removal of centralization, which is why there were so many Bitcoin predecessors to Bitcoin which failed. So how does Bitcoin solve these problems? Bitcoin solved these problems through two things. First, the blockchain, and the second is the proof of work consensus protocol, both of which are Satoshi Nakamoto's most popular and influential innovations. Because of these two things, anyone with access to internet and a computer can join the Bitcoin network. There are no banks or any equivalent of the Federal Reserve on the Bitcoin network. Instead, everyone can verify and audit the transaction history on their own. And even the certain of money is decided not by a central authority but through the process of mining or proof of work.